There you go.
And
Hey, now you're gonna do it without the four-way test on the screen, everybody.
of the things I think, say, and do, if it's a truth, if it's fair, concern, does it beneficial?
Hey, that was impressive, y'all.
Great job.
Super work, Russell.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Russell. Carolyn, I think we need a picture of him wearing the hat at the end of the meeting. We need a picture of him wearing my hat at the end of the meeting. So today's inspiration comes from Robert Brault. There's a child in every one of us who's still trick-or-treater looking for a brightly lit front porch. Thought that was fun. Bob Rose, I'm guessing, I think I saw you. I think you're going to probably announce this more in depth, but he asked me to let people know about the Peace Education and Action for Impact event that's coming up. It's in February, so you've got some time to plan, but it sounds like a fantastic event, and there'll be a link in the notes about more details about it, and the website and all that. But he asked me to let you know about that. A couple things. Patrice will be holding an information meeting for anyone interested in the August 2025 trip to Africa. It's actually going to be after the November 1st meeting. She changed the date on me last night after I prepared these. So after the November 1st meeting, we're going to stay in this room for a couple minutes. And if you have any interest in going to see some of our projects in Nairobi, Kenya, please stay after and learn more about it. I met with her yesterday and it sounds like it's going to be a phenomenal trip. Anyone who is interested in being part of the leadership of this club, it's actually a really fun thing to do. It's not a huge commitment, and I know Chuck would love to talk to you if you have any interest whatsoever. So seek him out after the meeting today. Also, please notice the little, I was going to grab one this morning, these 10 cards on the tables. These are the sponsors of our club, and they do a lot. They pay an annual amount, and that covers our ads. It covers some of our other marketing expenses. So please thank those businesses. If you have any interest in being one of those businesses, let us know. We could use one more. So, but please make sure to thank those businesses for their support. Couple more things. Mark your calendar. I'm going to let Gail talk about soldier bags. November 8th is Seniors for Wellness Thanksgiving luncheon. Has that sign up genius gone out? Oh, okay. So that is full, but if you're interested and you missed out, see Erica. Thanksgiving through Christmas, we do have the holiday bell ringing, and Kara's going to talk to us about that today. December 5th is our holiday party. Sign Up Genius has gone out for that. Please sign up. It's actually a really, really fun event. If you're a new member, it's a great social time. And that should say December 20th. Sorry, December 20th is the holiday party at the Unger's home. And there'll be more details coming on that soon. We have some birthdays. Thank you for putting this list together, Jen. We have birthdays in October. And if I'm not mistaken, of course, Tim Grace is sleeping in, so we can't wish him a happy birthday today, but happy birthday to all of our October birthdays. And we also have quite a few Rotarians who are celebrating their Rotary anniversary this month, including Doug. Did I see Doug this morning? I don't think I did. Nope. All right. Well, Doug is 25 years this month. Don Unger is 23, and Marianne, I know I saw you. There you are. Is 12 years this month. So as is Lori Rumford. So congratulations to everybody who's celebrating their Rotary anniversary this month. And now Jen. Okay. How do I always do that? I need to put it in my slides. Okay.
Well, we're excited that Kara Sandifer is here, who will be talking to us and reminding us that we all need to ring the bell. Thank you. And we have Errol Bushon. I want to say it correctly. And there you are. And he's actually checking this out for a second time and has our application. So I hope you all behave. Thank you so much for coming today.
I need to just make a slide for that because I don't look at my agenda that's right here. I just run through my slides.
Okay, raise your hand if you had breakfast here this morning. Jenny, Brenda, Erica did an amazing job getting the food out. I want to say a special thank you to them. Now, the best part of this job for me, membership chair, is that I get to induct our new members. So if I could have Peyton Thomas come up and Chris Davis, his mentor, we're gonna induct them into our club. Awesome. Okay, ready? Peyton, it is a great pleasure on behalf of the Board of Directors and members of the Rotary Club of Evergreen to welcome you as a member. We welcome you not only for the fine fellowship we will share, but also for your dedication to the community. Rotary is not a political organization, but all Rotarians are vitally concerned with everything pertaining to good citizenship and the election of good men and women to public office. Rotary is not a charitable organization, yet its activities exemplify the charity and the sacrifices that one should expect from people who believe they have a responsibility in serving others. Rotary is not a religious organization, but is built on those eternal principles that have served as the moral compass for people throughout the ages. Rotary is an organization of business and professional people pledged to uphold the highest professional standards. Rotarians believe that worldwide fellowship and international peace can be achieved when people unite under the banner of service. You, Peyton Thomas, have been chosen for membership in the Rotary Club of Evergreen because your fellow members believe in you. In the community, you represent the character and service of the club. We accept you as a member and welcome your commitment. Fellow Rotarians, please help me present our newest Rotarian, Peyton Thomas.
Hi, everyone. Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate it. I just look forward to working with like-minded people after the same thing that I'm after, which is what was on that paper. So I really appreciate it. It was beautifully written. And I just so thank you for having me. Thank you, Chris, for being my mentor and inviting me here for the first time. So I just look forward to helping you with your projects and seeing what I can do to fit in better to make Evergreen better, and then see if you can help me with some of my projects. So thank you so much.
Chris Boydell, come on down. I'm sure you all have had the opportunity to meet Chris. Oh, yeah, and Ted, sorry. We are excited to graduate Chris out of the Red Badge program today. Record time getting his Red Badge.
Taskmaster.
So as you all know, the purpose of the Red Badge program is to help integrate our newer members into the Evergreen Rotary family and to help them find their path to a rewarding experience and us living out the Rotary model of service above self. Please join me in congratulating Chris for graduating from the Red Badge program.
It only hurt a minute.
Oh, that's it.
Hi, thank you.
Thank you, Jenny. Yeah. All right. I'm not gonna touch anything because Russell's driving around. Okay, can we do general announcements? Please make sure to stand behind the podium so the people on Zoom can see you and state your name for our scribes.
Oh, you're handing this to me? No, you go out doing.
I didn't want to go first, but I'll go first. So a couple of things, I got 4 things to talk about. Yeah, it's long. Kevin McGuire was up here for 8 years. You haven't seen him for a while. he's actually in ICU right now, so any of those prayer warriors or thought leaders, you might want to lift him up. He's got emergency surgery going on. Not at St. Anthony's. He's in St. Anthony's last night. He's being moved to another facility today to do an abscess on his throat, so having trouble breathing. That's number one. Number two, I failed it last week, but Gary McKay, hats off to you for the road warriors 2 weeks ago. I saw more orange bags driving to King Super than I'd ever seen. So thank you very much for pulling that together and getting Silvio involved and so forth. So thank you. Mindy talked about leadership. What she's asking for is anybody interested in being president for the 26-27 Rotary year. So that's what we're looking for. If you're interested, please reach out to me. And then I made the announcement last week, past presidents, please stay after this meeting to have a little chit chat about some of that. And we'll start working on that progress. That's it for me. Where am I going? Over here?
Is this one on?
Okay.
Yes. Hi, I'm Kayla Montaigne. Just wanted to get this on your calendar because the week of the first week in December is got a lot going on with the holiday party on the Thursday night. But Friday night, December 6th, is the holiday walk. And my parking lot at the Evergreen Design Center in Mountain Home is a big draw for parking, so you don't have to take the shuttle bus. Well, we've come up with an option for Rotarians because at 4:30, the holiday walk starts at 5. But at 4:30, we're gonna dedicate one of Dave's peace poles at the center. And so we'll have the celebration there. We're gonna save Rotarians parking places. And then there'll be a brief reception inside Mountain Home. And then in the parking lot, we're gonna have a food truck, which is donating part of their proceeds to Rotary. So you can buy dinner there. Bivouac Coffee is giving away free coffee. We're gonna have a fire pit, roasting free marshmallows for kids. Any Rotarians who wanna help with the marshmallows and not burn yourself, you're welcome to come join. But please put it on your calendar, Friday, December 6th, peace pole dedication and an opportunity to participate with easy parking for the holiday walk. You got it.
Good morning, my name is Bruce Anderson. Good morning, Evergreen Rotary. Tonight is the night, the Boogie Bash at Wild Game, 5:30 to 10. We have a great band at a headliner, that's Wash Park. All proceeds that we raise will go to Resilience 1220. We're going to have a wine auction also to raise some more money for Resilience. So come on out, have a good time, and see a great band. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Lauren Kaufman, and I just wanted to give, oh, you can't hear me? I'm Lauren Kaufman. Anyhow, I'm here just to give you a little information about local news. I'm not going to take a long time, but if anybody knows about what's going on at the truck stop up at the entrance to Evergreen, I have information and it's not just a truck stop. There's a lot of building that's going to happen real quick that is going to affect our in and out of Evergreen. So if anybody's interested, I have information on it. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jeff Stone. Last week I told you about the monks coming to visit Evergreen on their Great Compassion Sand Mandala tour. There's a flyer on your table again this week. There's actually a lot going on next week associated with their visit. The schedule starts on Wednesday and runs through Sunday, November 3rd. So next Wednesday, they're going to start the mandala construction, the sand mandala. My wife Patty is responsible for bringing the monks to Evergreen, and she's organizing their whole week. And I have a great opportunity for a couple of people here Part of what we do during the evenings is hand off the monks to someone else for the evening. So if you'd like to host dinner with 3 monks from Leh Ladakh, India, far northern part of India near the Tibetan border, this group would be some of the most interesting dinner guests you've had all year or in a while. They're really fun, actually. So the nights that are open are Tuesday, October 29th, and Saturday, November 2nd. So you can contact me or Patty, and there'll be, we'll put her phone number and a link and stuff in the meeting announcement. So that's a really fun opportunity. Also, next week, some of the activities you can register for or sign up for a house blessing, a business blessing. You can bring, in addition to these dinners. So hanging around with the monks is just a great way to bring some positive energy into your world. And it's really fun. So take a look at the schedule, drop by Congregation Beth Evergreen. That's where most of it's going to be happening. So Ted also has something to say.
Let me tell you a little bit about where these monks are coming from. On my trail away from medicine, I read a book. It's called Ancient Futures. It's 1992. And this group is from that area of the world. It's a unique 15,000 foot community. And it's located, if you can imagine, between Pakistan, China, and India. And it's a very unusual environment. And there's even a documentary movie. And I suggest that we'll put this in the minutes, but actually, there's actually been a documentary made about this called Ancient Futures. So we'll put that in the notes. But I think we should probably understand that this is a unique opportunity to find a population that is so remote, that is coming to Evergreen. And what they bring here is the message of peace, the message of compassion. The mandala is just part of that. So I think we should be prepared. I'm offering you to be prepared to meet these monks, knowing something about their background.
Thank you.
Bob Rose is my name, and speaking of peace, tomorrow, Mindy had mentioned the February start of the next Peace Education and Action for Impact program. How does Rotary get peace in the world? One of the ways is to educate young people to do that work in their own countries. And this is something that we're talking about right now. Our club the ISC has already sponsored a team from Serbia and a team from Ghana. Tomorrow you'll have youth in the announcements is an event tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. So if you happen to want to get up early on a Saturday, you could check that out. The link for that will be in the announcements. There'll be young people that have been through the program before from many different countries in the world speaking about their experience. It's a recruiting attempt for youth, but also for folks that are helping fund it. So check it out.
Good morning, everybody. Gail Sharp. So you probably noticed it's getting cold outside, right? Finally, this morning it was chilly, and it made me think about homeless folks that are out there, and particularly our homeless veterans that have served our country and yet have fallen on hard times and are struggling due to a variety of problems. So one of the things that we do for them is, as a group here, is collect items to put in backpacks for them. And I encourage you, we only have one more date after today to collect items. And I'm over at Wild Game often to check kind of what's been collected. And I'm really sad to say there's not much. So in the past, by now, they used to have so much stuff, they had to take it upstairs to get it out of the front entryway because it was packed. It's not. There's very little. So it makes me very sad, and I know how compassionate and how caring this group is, along with all the other service clubs, and I know there's kids helping, there's a lot of people that care. But we really need you to do it, okay? So please, like I mentioned, I've sent out lists of what we need. If you have any questions about it, let me know. And if you don't have time, do what Marcia just did and give me some money. Because what I'll do is Thursday night on November 7th, we start sorting all the bags of stuff. We put it into tubs. That's at 5:30. You're welcome to come help us. And then I see what we kind of have. And then what we don't have, we go right over to Walmart and fill it up with the cash that we have. So please, one way or another, if you could help. And last and most important is the cards. So I have some on your table. I've got more if you need them. And you don't have to write 50 words of dedication to a homeless veteran, but you could say, thank you for your service. We wish you well in the future. Just something to know that there's some human behind this backpack. It wasn't just made in a factory. There are people that care about these men and women. So if you have any questions, please let me know, but please show me what you normally do. Rotary normally just blows the water. It's amazing. And this year it's just kind of, so I appreciate it. Thank you.
Richard Ayler, Chair of the Echo Food Drive. I'll just be quick. I just wanted to give thanks. We donated 106 pounds of food last Friday to the Echo Food Pantry, and they are so appreciative of that. Thank you to Jack for collecting when I wasn't here. Our next date to collect is Friday, November 15th. They are really hoping that all organizations that donate up their donations for the holidays because the need just continues to grow. So we donated 106 pounds, actually two months in a row. Kind of funny, 106 pounds. Let's try to up that number for Friday, November 15th. I'll be making collections out here. Again, thank you all for all you do to give to help those in our community most in need.
Yeah, let me say one thing. Thank you. November 11th and 12th is the alternative Christmas fair. And this will be at the Lutheran Church on 73. One of the things that I'm involved in, one of the things I'm involved in is this microcredit for women in Guatemala. And we now have 35,000 clients down there. It was started by Ted Kanye. But, I just think we make these Switons, and I used to sell them right here. But we come to that alternative fair and you get wonderful things from all over the world. And it's just amazing. And so I encourage you to come.
It's the 9th and 10th. Thank you, everyone. I would like to invite Kara up to talk to us about Salvation Army for just a moment.
Hi, good morning, everybody. My name is Kara Sandiford, and I am part of the Salvation Army. And we are ramping up for the Register to Ring this year. For Walmart, they have okayed the dates to start as early as November 16th. So you guys will have 6 weeks now of coverage at Walmart on the weekends. You guys are going to do the 2-hour shifts, and we're going to talk about the sign-up genius. But we certainly appreciate all of your help and all of your time. Feel free to bring your talents. I'm going to double check that we can bring dogs this year. But bring your talents, bring your dancing, bring your costumes, bring your music, just have fun with it. So we appreciate it very much. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me.
Thanks, Carol. Just wanted to quickly thank, I'm Dave Laughlin. I wanted to quickly thank Kara for showing up today and for helping us kick off the bell ringing. And kind of be excited about this. And one thing that we didn't discuss yet is the sign up genius. We updated that here this week, so we'll be launching it in the minutes. Please sign up. It's all the weekends from November 16th all the way through, including, I think, Christmas Eve. But thank you all, and looking for a good turnout on this.
Thank you. Next, Mr. Pod.
Uh-oh.
You're up.
Thanks, Mindy. My name is Greg Pott, and I joined Rotary in 1982, long time ago. And one of the things that happened when I was a Rotarian, 4 years after being at Rotary, I turned in my resignation. And I had a very good friend of mine, in fact, he passed away 2 weeks ago, that encouraged me to go to a district conference. I went to a district conference, and the next thing he encouraged me to do is go to a Rotary International Convention. And one of the things that I realized as a Rotarian is that I didn't know what I didn't know about Rotary. And I will encourage all of you to please take an opportunity to look at the convention in Calgary. Last year's convention was in Singapore. You can imagine it was exceptionally expensive. The one following this in 2026 is going to be in Taipei, Taiwan, which will be very expensive. So Calgary is going to be an opportunity for all of you, if you'll take the time to look at the information, to be able to be surrounded with around 30,000 Rotarians from 200 countries throughout the world that speak over 20 languages. And it's one of the most amazing things that I have ever gone to. You will really, truly understand the beauty of this organization. And there is a flyer among all the other pieces of paper that are on the table that I hope that you can find. And Russell, if you'd like to play that video, I would appreciate it very much.
There's something to our collective energy. When we gather each year, everyone belongs to something bigger than themselves. It is magnetic. It is moving. It is magic. We share friendship, experiences, and new perspectives, awakening inspiration, unleashing possibility in ourselves, our communities, and around the world. It's a phenomenon like no other. Join us in Calgary for the 2025 Rotary International Convention and discover magic all around.
As I indicated, the International Convention really changed my journey in Rotary, and it certainly changed our family's life. So I hope to see all of you in Calgary, and thank you very much, Mindy. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Larry, you're up.
Thank you. Well, last thing anybody ever wants to do is follow Greg Powell. Thank you, Greg. And what he says about about getting to know Rotary is absolutely very important, because it's true. You don't know what you don't know. Now, shifting subjects quite a bit, I've got something here in this bag, and I'll tell you about it in just a moment. But Rotary has a little tradition of celebrating longevity in marriage. And a year ago, I was presented with, and I'll show you what this is in a minute, a golden bell. And they tell me it even lights up, because I haven't even really explored it, but it's in honor of Debbie and I celebrating our 50th wedding anniversary a year ago. And a very small percentage of marriages ever reach that milestone, and for a lot of very legitimate reasons. But this year, I have the pleasure and I have the relief of getting rid of cussing on well to the next honoree, which is Kurt and Barb Harris. Would you please come here? Kurt and Barb celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary recently, and I understand it was the happiest 43 years of your life, right? Yes. I can't tell you what that means. Anyway, congratulations. And may the next 50 years be so honored and so joyful.
I look forward to passing this on to the next. Anyway, thanks, Larry.
Don't go very far, Mr. Harris. All right, I think that's everything. We had a lot going on today, so it was a great morning, great way to start the morning. I'd like to ask Kurt Harris to come back up. He's gonna be talking to us this morning about what all the Rotary International Foundation is, and how we can differentiate all the different organizations and make sense of all of it, especially important for our new members. But it's also a really good refresher for those of us who've been involved for a while, because it's a kind of confusing and he's really good at explaining it. So you're up, Kurt.
Thanks, Mindy. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about something really exciting. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. I'm gonna talk to you about the Rotary Foundation as well as the Evergreen Rotary Foundation. We normally do something, a kind of a tag team thing, but I decided to try to take it on all myself. So first of all, who knows what year Rotary International was founded? 1916 is a guess. It's a guess. 10. Okay. Rotary International, not the foundation. 1905. Does anybody know the name of the founder of Paul Harris? No relation. Anyway, there's they added Rotaract members to Rotary International. So we used to have 1.2 million members. Now we have 1.4 million members in 46,000 clubs around the world in 130 countries. And I thought probably most Rotarians have never seen the vision statement that was adopted, what, 3 years ago or so. Together we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities and in ourselves. Kind of sums up what we try to do here with Rotary International. So you might have noticed I said there's two foundations. So who's confused about the two foundations? Don't raise your hand because you're gonna most people are confused. We have two foundations. The Evergreen Rotary Club is a 501c4 nonprofit, whereas Evergreen Rotary Foundation and the Rotary Foundation of Rotary International are both 501c3s. They're public charities. Donations to a 501c3 are tax deductible. If you make a donation to our club, not tax deductible. So why do we have two foundations? Well, the Evergreen Rotary Foundation is our own club's foundation, okay? That makes donations tax deductible, as I mentioned. And some sponsors actually require you to be a 501c3 before they'll contribute money to you. And the Rotary International Foundation, Rotary Foundation of Rotary International is Rotary International's foundation for the worldwide things that they do. So let's talk about the Evergreen Rotary Foundation first. Al Steger and Jim is the president, current president. Dale was the past president. And Jim Kreider's the treasurer. The board of directors are all Evergreen Rotarians. Do we have any on the board for the Evergreen Rotary Foundation? We have three here, one back here, Chris. And it has assets of about $1 million, of which about $1/3 of $1 million is unrestricted. The rest of the monies we hold for other charitable purposes that have already been designated. And it receives money from both our club fundraisers as well as donations on an ongoing basis from club members. A number of you, unfortunately not all of you, make a contribution periodically to the Evergreen Rotary Foundation to support their activities. A year ago, they funded almost $70,000 worth of projects in both the Evergreen area and international projects. And they also fund our legacy projects, the most recent being the Echo food truck that we funded, what, 2 years ago? And it is the principal organization that we use to do our fundraising. The Rotary Foundation of Rotary International was started back in 1917. The initial contribution was $26.50, if I recall. But since then, they have funded over $6 billion in projects since they started funding it in 1947. And in Rotary year 2023, ending end of June 30th, 23, they funded $343 million in projects and programs that they do. They do peace centers and things around the world. And they've got net assets of about $1.25 billion. And the guy that's responsible for doing that is our. So. And Terry, you just met Greg. Greg is a trustee of the Rotary Foundation, which is a big deal. But the really big deal, well, a big deal is that he's the chair of the Finance Committee, the Investment Committee, and he's going to be the vice chair of the Rotary Foundation next year. So you want a big shot? There he is. And they don't take much of your time, right, Greg? Yeah, that's why you see Greg even less than me. He's traveling all over the world now. Anyway, donations to the Rotary Foundation's annual fund come back to the district in the form of what's called district designated funds, or DDF for short. Rotary loves their acronyms. And then the rest of it goes into what's called the World Fund, and that funds matches and peace centers and scholarships and things. When we do a district grant, cash is matched 1-to-1. So if we put together a grant at our club for $3,000, we can get a $3,000 match of these district designated funds, and all of a sudden we have $6,000. And each club can get up to $6,000 in matching funds every year. For global grants, they changed the criteria recently. They became even more lucrative than before. And so 10,000 can actually become $37,000 in funds. The most recent global grant that we did at this club level was Bob Rose's global grant down in Honduras, Belize, Honduras. And $221,000? $216. I can never get that amount right. But they're big projects. $216,000 does a whole lot of good in a third world country, developing country like St. Helene on Roatan. Yeah. And we can get up to $15,000 match every year. So, but one of the misconceptions is all Rotary grants are international, and that is just couldn't be further from the truth. This is a list of, in the last probably 7 or 8 years, of grants that we've done in our community. We did 2 last year. And so we do, as a matter of fact, about 2/3 of all grants district-wide are done in our communities within our districts. Only about 1/3 of the grants are done internationally. Money-wise, it's about 50-50. I did a little summary statistics here to give you an idea of what where the money comes from. Annual fund, they get about $147 million contributions every year. This is worldwide from all the clubs everywhere. Endowment fund got $34 million. Those are usually funded by bequests in wills and et cetera. And then Polio Plus about $150 million. About $100,000 that came from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, who has agreed to do a 2-to-1 match. We raised $50 million, they'll give us $100 million. Pretty good deal. So why give to the Rotary Foundation? How many of you can you say that you actually contribute to a Charity Navigator 4-star 100% rating charity? And other than giving to the Rotary Foundation, can anybody here say that they have done that? There's only about, the last thing I looked at, 60 charities in the country that have gotten 100% rating. Rotary's gotten this, Rotary Foundation's gotten a 100% rating for about the last 5 years in a row. In other words, they take care of your money. They're great stewards of your money. And about 92% of the money comes back to the clubs for service projects and doing programs. We also use a lot of the matching funds. might have noticed, we have a really extensive list of programs and grants that we've done. And it's one great way to make a big difference in your community as well as the world. There's also the Polio Plus program, which we began back in 1985. They figured out that they could eradicate polio in the Philippines, and they said, hey, let's take this on as a project. It'll take us about 10 years and about $200 million, something like that is what they thought. 260. Well, guess what? We've contributed more than $2.2 billion now towards this thing. What'd you say, Greg? $6 billion is what it's cost so far for this program around the world. Billion a year now. And so we've immunized 3 billion kids, over 3 billion kids in 122 different countries. You might have heard there's an outbreak of polio in Gaza. Well, guess what? Rotary's there, taking care of immunizing kids. So like I said, Gates Foundation does a 2-to-1. There's only 2 endemic countries left, Afghanistan and Pakistan. We had 12 cases last year, and we've had 14 cases this year of wild polio. There's still some cases of vaccine-derived polio out there that hopefully will go away once we stop doing the vaccines. And something that we haven't really pushed before, but I'm going to push a little bit today, is Polio Plus Society. On your tables, there's one of the many pieces of paper that Greg alluded to sign up to the Polio Plus Society, which says that you will agree to give $100 a year whenever you can to the Polio Plus campaign. Right now, we have a total of 3 Polio Plus members in this club. Well, I'd like to get that up a few. Did I skip one here? No. Okay, well, anyway. You can give in a number of different ways. If you give $10 a year, you become an every Rotarian every year contributor. If you give $100 a year, you're called a sustaining member. Paul Harris Society members commit to give $1,000 a year whenever they can to the annual fund or Polio Plus. We have 14 of those in our club. Paul Harris fellowships for every $1,000 that you contribute, or get recognition points, which we're going to talk about a little bit on matching recognition points. You get a Paul Harris fellowship, and for each additional Paul Harris fellowship up to 9 times, you get a little pin with a stone in it. It starts out with sapphires, gets to rubies. I don't know if anybody has their pin on. Fitzy's got one there. I don't know how many. 3 or 4 sapphires, which means he's a Paul Harris +5. So he's in for $5,000 in this deal. Polio Plus Society members, I mentioned, is $100 a year to Polio Plus. And major donors have given at least $10,000 in cash, not recognition points, to the foundation. We have a number of those too. So also, Greg doesn't even know this. As of about 12 o'clock noon yesterday, I became the chairman of our district's Bequest Society committee. Plainfield's very, very convincing dude. Who's the district foundation chair. Anyway, a benefactor makes a contribution in their bequest in their will or their estate planning, $1,000 to $10,000. Bequest Society, $10,000 and more. And there's different levels of that. I'm going to try to push that a little bit since I'm now the chair of the committee. It would be a good thing that maybe a few people in our club actually sign up. We do have a number of people. Well, I think it's 5 in our club. If you want to be involved with that, please let me know. I've got forms with me. Also, Rotary Trek. We have 26 members of our club that actually contribute automatically through either credit card or a debit to their checking account. And there's forms, Rotary Direct forms on there. We have 26 members of our club that do that. It's a really easy way to do $25 a quarter. You become a sustaining member, or do $85 a month and become a Paul Harris Society member. It's really easy to do. They can charge a credit card or checking account. You can cancel at any time. It's just a really nice, simple way of doing it. We get this little thing that shows club fundraising analysis. Again, I thought I'd show it to you, what our contributions have been to the annual fund every year. This doesn't include contributions to the endowment fund, but it also shows how much we've given to Polio Plus. By the way, our club contributes $1,000 a year to Polio Plus as our speakers gifts. As you always hear them say, we give 60 doses of polio vaccine. That amounts to $1,000 a year towards the Polio Plus campaign. So one thing I should point out, the annual fund per capita, we always exceed what the district does. So I'm very proud of this club. We do a very good job of supporting the annual fund. Not that we could do a little bit more. We do great, and it's always good to be sitting in a meeting when they talk about that. It makes me feel a lot better. So this gives you an idea of how many people, what we've done. I've already alluded to most of these numbers. You can see we have 7 major donors in this club. So our board has agreed to do some more incentives. If you sign up for the Rotary Direct program by a cutoff of December 20th, they will give you in your account, $300 of recognition points, which actually counts as cash towards your next Paul Harris Fellowship. If you just do a one-time contribution, they'll match it 1-to-1. So if you contribute $200, they'll match it $200. Paul Harris Society, if you decide that you want to commit, sign up to be a Paul Harris Society member, they will throw in another $300. And then finally, if you sign up to be a member of the Paul Harris, the Polio Plus Society, they'll contribute at least and contribute at least $100 a year. They will contribute $200 towards your account. And the board didn't approve this, and so it's going to come out of my account. But if you sign up to become a Request Society member, I will throw $1,000 into your $1,000 in recognition points into your account for the first 10 people that would do that. So that didn't need board approval, and I just came up with that yesterday about 12:02. So, Greg, have I missed anything?
Yeah,
Would you like to say something?
Just 2 things. That was by far the best, I gotta go up there. Oh, God. That is the best Rotary Foundation presentation I've seen in many, many years. So I really appreciate that. Let me just give you some statistics that I work with all the time at Rotary headquarters. I have learned to ignore zeros when I deal with these numbers. So it's been a kind of interesting process that I've been doing. But around the world, only 34% of all Rotarians give to the Rotary Foundation, which is quite frankly very low. I can't imagine not giving to the Rotary Foundation with the ratings that we have. We are one of the top charities in North America. The second thing that I will tell you is only 14.2% of all Rotarians give to our Polio Plus program. This is a program that quite frankly, and I did mention this, cost $1 billion a year to operate. The Gates Foundation, we are in our 3rd year with the Gates Foundation, 3rd year of a couple year contracts, where they will match $100 million for our $50 million. I will tell you that the last 6 years, Rotary Foundation from contributions from Rotarians has been short of the $50 million. Last year, we were $4.2 million short of the $50 million to match the $100 million. And you don't want to lose $100 million coming into your organization. So what happens, we have to take it out of the world fund. And I'm not going to get into the complexity of that, but it's a shame that we're not even meeting our $50 million contribution. So polio is a real thing, and we are very, very close. We've got some setbacks. We've had some, quite frankly, we've had quite a few of our volunteers killed. We had 50 of them killed about 2 weeks ago. So it's a very difficult process we're going through. But I would encourage you all to think about making a contribution to polio, because we really do want to make sure we get that match. So that's all I'm going to say. Other than that, you covered everything.
And he's the expert, so. Anyway, there's pictures from a place that used to be called Plaster House. It's now called Rafiki House. They changed the name. We funded it through our foundation and a $25,000 to put in the water system in this facility that does pre and post-op for kids, surgery, before surgery and after surgery. You can't send out kids with casts like that in the bush, or you'll be amputating legs later because they can't take care of them. So they keep these kids in there until they're done. There's about 150 kids in here at any one time, and it is absolute chaos. Greg's been there, and it is, well, Bill's been there, Dale and Marianne have been there. I mean, anybody that's gone to Africa with me, we go here, and it's absolute organized chaos. It's great. So, and so I open that up for any questions.
Well, I get the difference between the Evergreen Rotary Foundation and Rotary International. Oh, yeah. Is it on? No, so I get the difference between the Rotary International Foundation and the Evergreen Rotary Foundation. No problem. Why is Polio Plus a separate, but I'm assuming it's a separate 501c3?
No, it's not a separate 501c3. It's under the umbrella of the Rotary Foundation. It's just a separate program that has the funds earmarked for that program.
So it's part.
It's part of the Rotary Foundation. Yeah, it's still, and contributions to either Polio Plus or the annual fund go towards your Paul Harris fellowships. And the money from the annual fund does come back in the form of BDF. Obviously, Polio Plus does not.
What does it take for founding that Polio Plus and making clean water all over the world instead? You know, I think, how long is Polio Plus going to be?
Well, my the question is, how long is Polio Plus going to be in effect? And I don't have a crystal ball. If anybody else knows, we're down to 14 cases so far this year. Once we eradicate polio, we have to continue to do the immunizations for another 3 years in those countries. So there'll still be additional costs. After 3 years, hopefully we won't be devoting those funds to that project anymore. We can put it towards clean water and other things. One thing I didn't mention is the Plus and Polio Plus. They also give things like vitamin A drops to these kids that reduces all kinds of bad physical issues with newborns and things. They've developed a monitoring system as part of the Polio Plus that was used during COVID and is out there. That infrastructure is all out there. It can be used not just for polio and polio monitoring, but for a whole lot of other medical issues too. So it isn't just polio, but it's primarily polio, and that's the one that's at the forefront. So other questions? Dale asked me to explain the difference between where our monthly dues go to for the club. Monthly dues for the club go to support the club, pay our Rotary International dues, pay our district dues, to pay for the food, and to support our international exchange student and all of the activities of the club. They're not tax deductible. We try to keep those to a minimum, more of a break-even thing. We don't want to put any extra funds in our club, because why do that? Why not have you contribute to our foundation to support our projects? So that's where your dues go. They're not part of the foundation in any way. Any other questions? Okay, forms on the contribution form that's on your, if you're gonna give me a check, you don't need to fill that out. I'll fill it out for you. You only need to fill that contribution form if you want to use a credit card. Otherwise, and then the Rotary Direct form is sign up automatically, but if you fill out the contribution form and say you want to do it quarterly or whatever, that takes care of that issue. And then finally, the Polio Plus form, Polio Plus Society form, fill that out. I'll be around after the meeting. You can hand those out. I'll be around after a couple of meetings and passing out these forms. We have until December 20th to take advantage of the bonus in recognition points. If you want to know how much you need to contribute to get to your next Paul Harris Fellowship, I have that information with me. Don't worry about your member number or club number. I've got all that information. I'll take care of filling that out. So I'll be after if you have any questions. And thank you for your consideration and getting you out here 3 minutes early.
Thank you very much, Kurt. That's a really important thing for all of us to understand. So if you have follow-up questions, please talk to Kurt. I've called him a couple times and just said, I don't understand this piece. So feel free to reach out to him. He's a phenomenal resource. We're very fortunate to have him in our club. So with that, go out, have a wonderful day, share the magic of Rotary with the community around us.